It knows in this dictionary that it has, and it's like, well, I don't really know if it's illicit, 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 but I know it's the one that's that means the law, illicit. So they're talking about illicit drugs, okay? No big deal. So you type it EL, well, that's not the one. Illicit, meaning law, is IL, ILL, okay? But I didn't know that. I thought it's EL. So I go in here to spelling, and I pick, well, I mean, it gives me all three, illicit, illicit, illicit. Well, it also gives you an entry where you can check the definition. Super cool, all right? And it's gonna show you that later, but I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead. But that's what you do. So, you know, you wanna add it in there, it gives you the entry. You don't have to go in there and manually type everything every time. It's arthroscopic. You press number 1, it puts arthroscopic in there. You want it in your main dictionary. It's always gonna give you that option that it's gonna go to the main. So if you're writing Krzyzewski and you're doing the chef, you don't want that in your main. You want it in a job dictionary, so that's the only time that you would change it. If not, then it's gonna put it in your main dictionary. Make sense?
Yes.
All right.
You can still use the very efficient globaling dialog, but it's even easier to pick choices from the Auto Magic list.
So what's super cool too is once you've already done it, once you've already put arthroscopic in there, so now in your notes you did arthroskepic. You did it with an S-K-E-P-I-B, or you did IB, and it should be I-K. Well, it already knows. That's the beauty of this Auto Magic, is that it's guessing before you even do it. Well, you know what? You had a 4-stroke word, arthroscopic, just a few seconds ago, or 78 pages ago. It doesn't matter. And you put it in your dictionary, so now it's giving you, you know what? Did you mean arthroscopic? So now you don't even have to go in there and do anything with it. You press 3, it puts it in there. Understand?
Yes.
Understand?
Is there a way, let's say you have arthroscopic in there like 15 different times in the document?
And 15 different ways?
Yeah, is there a way like in Word where you can just go boom, all, correct all entries?
That's what you do when you global it. When you global it, it automatically puts it in there. Now if you go in,
I'm talking at the edit phase, I guess I'm kind of.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
If you're going in and you global it the first time and you stroked it correct every time, then it's going to put it in there every time. You're not going to have to mess with it
No, I'm
again.
saying, what if you misstroke? I guess I'm just wondering if this could work just like word perfect in the editing phase. Is there a way you can correct one?
That's exactly what it's doing right there.
Okay.
Is it's giving you the option to correct it with
Throughout
number
the
3.
entire document, right?
Well, it's going to do it right there. So if you want to go through and highlight it again and global it again, because this time you put, you know, IB instead of IK, you can.
I think she's talking more along the lines of the find and replace function.
Exactly. I guess we don't have that, right?
Oh yeah, you do.
Okay. That's
You do.
great.
So you have the option of finding it. So, I mean, every time that you put, but I mean, if you did it right, you know, every time that it has, you can go through and find every time that it has arthroscopic. Or if you did R right every time, then you can go through and find arrest every time. If that's the way that you do arrest, then you can go through and find arrest, and every time that you did it, you can go through and you'll see there's a way of doing it where it's gonna be able to go through and edit and kind of fix your problems before you go through and edit. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yes, there is a way. And we're gonna go through that. I think it's the next one. So,
To make this 4-stroke steno global, all I have to do is press.
and that's what it's telling you right there. The little number 4 is telling you that it's 4 strokes. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, that's what that little 4 is. That's all it means. It doesn't mean anything else. So I mean, it's like, what? Arthroscopic 4? I don't want arthroscopic 4. No, it's not arthroscopic 4. It's just telling you that it's 4 strokes. Okay? And all you do is press number 3, Automatically puts it in there.
3. And now press a number if I want this global to go into a dictionary or affect the rest of the document. Otherwise, just keep moving the cursor. So global replacements typically take only one.
So a lot of times, it'll start guessing before you even do it. And if that's the way you want to do it, I would go through and global this because it's a good stroke. So I want it in my dictionary. Or if you don't want it in your dictionary and you just want to edit real fast, then just choose number 3. And it's automatically going to put garage in there. That's not the way that I would do it, but it gives you that option. Okay? So it's always thinking ahead. Okay? So it's like garage. This is what I think you were doing. So it's guessing for you. Or did it mean good day, gay, good, gave? So it's always guessing at what the strokes, and the more you use it, the more it learns how you write. Okay? So you're not using this thing as a word processor anymore, where you're just typing stuff in. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And there's times that you need to do it. But you're using the software and it gets used to your writing, yours. So it starts guessing towards what you're doing. Does that make sense? That's the artificial intelligence in this software. It's pretty cool, okay? So it's all about working smarter, not harder. Yes? Okay.
1 or 2 steps and no typing. Automagic understands paragraphing. Again, just press a number to do with 1 step what might take multiple steps on a...
See what they were doing right there? And they're going to go into it a little more in depth, but it's asking you...
Just keep moving the cursor. So global replacements typically take only 1 or 2 steps and no typing. Automagic understands...
See, this is called colloquy right here, okay? When they're just talking to each other, and it might be asking a question of the court. Well, that's not question answer. This is called colloquy. When the attorneys are talking to the judge. Judge, wasn't it my turn to go? I mean, he's asking no, it's his turn. I asked him if it was, he's on direct. Oh, okay. Well, he asked a question, but it's not question answer, okay? It's question answer when they call a witness and they're asking questions and answers of that witness, okay? That's when it's question answer, okay? The rest of it is colloquy, okay? But say you set it up in colloquy and they said, okay, Mr. Smith, go ahead and start asking questions of the witness. Okay. She is still working there, right? Well, you forgot to push the question. No big deal. There's a way to do that, to put the question in there. F3. F3, write that down. F3 is question, F4 is answer. So if you don't know that already, trust me, those are some that you're going to want to know. Okay? Want me to get it? All right.
Is it F3 is question?
I'm sorry?
F3 is question?
F3 is question, F4 is answer. So you can even try it inside of your, thing. Just try it and do F3, F4. So that's what I'm talking about when we're in here and it's like, oh, I want to mess with that. Well, I put a question in the middle of this thing. No big deal. You go in to help, reinstall the lesson again, you haven't messed anything up. Okay? So if you want to mess with it right now, you want to put a question answer, I'm going to show you how to correct things whenever you go through, and it's called the oops key in hyperkeys. Okay? So right here, they're wanting to put a byline, I think is what they did.
Stands paragraphing. Again, just press it.
Yeah, so they're going to put a byline in there. Well, a byline is when it comes in here, and they're going to show you in just a second. I'll push it, and it's going to say, by Mr. Smith, question. And that's the way you set up your question answer. When they're first asking the questions, it's always set up in a byline. Okay? And that's what they're going to do right here.
Number to do with 1 step. What?
You see what they did right there? By Mr. Smith now.
Yes.
It's not colloquy anymore. Okay? Now it's question answer, so now it's by Mr. Smith. She is still working there. Well, he goes, and it's still set up, maybe you hit something different again. and you would have had to hit the speaker identification in order for the speaker to come up, and now it's doing it in colloquy again. Don't freak out. You put your cursor right there, F3, puts it in question, you come back up here, Control Y deletes the whole line. Control Y. You don't really need to write that down right now. We're gonna go through that, but Control Y deletes a line, all right? And that's how you would do it, all right?
Might take multiple steps on another program. AutoMagic also watches out for word reversals. Or do with one step what might take multiple.
And see what it's telling you right there? If you want it in a question, F4. You want it in a question, F3. If you want it in an answer, F4. Okay? And you'll go through and see some of these things. Like you want to join the paragraph. Like say he was asking the question, well, you put an answer. You were trying to put a period, but you put an extra letter in there and it put an answer in there. Well, you didn't want an answer. So now you want this up here. Control J joins. Joins the paragraph. Okay? So you put your cursor right here, Control J, knocks it back up. No big deal. You don't have to go worry about deleting all of this or whatever. You just push Control J and it puts everything up there and fixes it. Okay?
Multiple steps on another program. AutoMagic also watches out for word reversals.
That's the same thing I was telling you a while ago. Shift R reverses everything, reverses the two words. Remember?
Or incorrectly applied suffixes. Or missing punctuation.
So, I mean, and we'll go through that in prefixes and suffixes, but you can change prefixes and suffixes anytime. Okay? All you do is put it on the word, and I'm going to show you in hyperkeys, there's a command that you do. All right? And then you can change any one. So say, you know, something's right here and it's outstanding, and he says outstands. I don't know, I'm making it up. You know, whatever. Or outstandingly. Okay? I don't know. You put it right there, and you push the button for the hyperkey, which is W. Prefixes, suffixes in hyperkeys is W for prefixes, suffixes. And it's going to bring up a box, and it'll show you once we get there, of all the different prefixes and suffixes that you have. And you can change it anytime. You don't have to type it in anymore. So you want to put tooking. Say they said tooking. And you want to put the ing. You don't have to arrow over here, type ing anymore. All you do is W, G, puts it on there. You don't have to change, you know, when you're changing it to S or whatever, it's going to know whether it's IES, ES, just S. You don't have to change it anymore. It does it for you. Okay? We're just about done, but just in case.
Punctuation and compound word problems. Naturally, it'll.
So it gives you different choices, and that's what it just showed you just then.
And compound.
So say it was she outstanding in the field? She wasn't good out there. She wasn't good in the field. That's what outstanding is. She was just outstanding in the field. And it's not field. But, and you'll see, I mean, they're going to give you that option right now. So it's always thinking ahead. You know what? Did you want it one word? Did you want it two words? Did you want it, you know, all different ways? Okay? So it's always going to give you a bunch of options.
Word problems. Naturally, it alerts you to spelling problems as you're making them.
See, so it already knows. Field. Well, that's not the way that I would stroke field anyway. Not this kind of field. It's F-I-L-D is the way that I would do it. I don't know how you're going to do it, you know. And if you do it differently, whatever, okay? I wouldn't do it with an asterisk either. But if you do, maybe it means something else. I don't know. But it's going to give you all kinds of different options. Do you mean feel, ED? I don't know why you would do it that way. But, I mean, it gives you all kinds of different options. Did you just mean feel and you accidentally put the D on there? Yeah. Okay, no big deal. Push 7 and it fixes it. No big deal. All right?
It also helps with number formatting,
And this is what I'm talking about numbers, guys. So when you put 3 in there, and let's say, and when we go through numbers, you'll understand. But say you don't use the number bar. No big deal. It's really not, but I mean, I use the number bar, okay? But they're gonna show you in numbers how you need numbers in numbers and you need number in words, okay? And there are times that you need it that way, okay? But let's just say you wrote 3-car garage, okay? Well, now it's gonna give you the option. Did you mean 3? No. Did you mean $3? No. How about 3 o'clock? No. The Roman numeral 3? No. Or is there a different way that you want to convert the number? And they'll show you that too later, okay? But there's a way of doing it. It's Control-Shift-3 is converting numbers.
And hyphenation without requiring that.
So it's supposed to be a hyphenated word, okay? Because it's a
Number formatting and
3-car garage. So shift with the hyphen automatically puts it in there. It already knows to do it. Or you can just make the choice of, if it gives you that choice, then just press number 1. Got it? Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
hyphenation without requiring that your cursor be at the very.
See, and it doesn't even matter, say you did 230 and you were on top of them. So you really didn't know what they were going to say and they said 230. Okay, well you didn't know. Well, you just wrote 2 and it's like, oh shoot, it's time. So I wrote 30. It doesn't matter. So now it's already guessing. It doesn't even matter that you wrote the word 2 and then the number's 30. It's already guessing. Did it mean 230? Yeah, it did. Press number 4. Automatically fixes it. Or did it mean 230? Well, yeah. So you press number 1. No big deal. And it's always guessing for you, okay? So the more you use it, the more that it's helping you guess ahead, okay?
Start of a number. AutoMagic is not just one feature, it's a synthesis of years of innovation, including global magic and translation magic. Total Eclipse. Brilliantly simple, simply brilliant.
And it really is, guys. It really is brilliantly simple and simply brilliant. I mean, if you use it right, it really can be, okay? And all it's going to do is help you, okay? So it's always guessing ahead for you. Let's see what the next one is. You know what? We're going to wait till next week. Hyperkeys is real in-depth, okay? Guys, we covered a lot of information tonight. Go over that stuff, use that stuff, okay? And when you're practicing and you see the auto magic, mess with it. And just do different things, you know, and press, you know, different things and see what happens, because you're not gonna mess it up because it's on practice stuff. And the more you mess with it, the more you're gonna become accustomed to what it's trying to do. And you're like, oh man, that's easy. I just pressed number 4 right there. Or I did the Shift R to reverse the words. I never knew I could do that. Well, it just told you right there. Do you want to shift the words? Shift R. Okay? All right. Still recording?